All right, Jus. We're recording here.
We are.
What do you think of that?
We're back.
New microphones.
I see that.
See what they sound like.
New cameras, new microphones.
I got free hands now. I don't have to have a mic in front of my face.
Oh, well, you got to do this then?
Yeah, I'm going to do like this, like I'm a thinker.
And you have to, every once in a while, move your hands. Public speaking
like
class.
Plato, Aristotle, or something. The thinker.
Right.
The thinker. I'm going to go like this.
Yeah.
So what you been up to, man? Since you lost your dog.
Nothing. Working on a bike, painting the house, getting tattooed.
You got a new tattoo?
Yeah.
On your butt? So I can't see it if it's
No, my ribs and my stomach.
You're covering up the fat.
You can't cover up all this fat.
We got a shirt on that says, "Never forget we live among giants."
Correct. I had to wear this shirt because my buddy Scott pointed out that all my shirts are either gray or black.
Well, gray or black's good for TV.
Yeah, well.
So, YouTube, whatever we're on.
If you have animals, you know the fur shows up on everything that's dark.
Okay.
So that's why I have more gray shirts. But he pointed out that I was always in my gray shirt. So I wore this so he'll shut his pie hole.
Shut his pie hole.
Yeah.
I like it says, "Never forget we live among giants."
Correct. This is because it's Red Friday.
And everybody's a giant to you, Jus.
Well, even 3-year-olds are taller than me.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
They're skinnier.
Well, anybody's skinnier than me.
Do they make fun of Jus Day or what?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. So one of the few last episodes we did, we talk about de-escalation, police force, federal agents, military. We have to go through de-escalation. Yeah. Military is a little different. If you're in the offense doing an attack, there's no de-escalation. We've already figured out, hey, these dudes are going to get killed, right?
Right.
But if you're doing policing operations or doing security, those kind of things, de-escalation is a thing in the military.
Yeah.
And I went through the training in the State Department. We were required to de-escalate because we were not in an attack mode. We were not in assault mode. We were in protection mode.
Right.
We wanted to get our principal out of there. And if that meant de-escalating until we could get him in the car and leave, we'd do it.
Right.
Now, sometimes you had to go, go up the ladder a little bit.
Sometimes you got to go hands-on. Sometimes lead got to go down range.
Sometimes lead poisoning gets them.
It happens.
But anyway, we had this smart guy on TikTok saying that there's no case law requiring police to de-escalate.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I pulled, I think it was 6 federal and about 36 state level, all kind, not just conservative,
so obviously,
liberal. It was
obviously, he wasn't a cop. He wasn't in law enforcement.
I don't think he's a lawyer either. So
yeah, I don't think he pulled security at Burger King either.
Right. He's never won or wore the Allied Universal shirt.
Oh, yes. Yes. I'm pretty sure he wasn't around with Pinkerton either.
That's another topic. We could talk about Allied Allied Universal another day. I did investigations into them. So that's crazy.
But
anyway,
I mean, if he says they don't have it, he obviously didn't look deep enough. So he's just being a keyboard commando. And he has no experience. He's never been to the academies. I've been to several corrections academies, law enforcement academies for agencies, their SOPs. They teach you to de-escalate. That's why they have the use of force matrix. You can go up, you can go down. You don't have to go up and stay up. Every situation is a dynamic situation. It never stays the same. It moves.
Right.
So you just move along with it.
Yeah. And I've gone through the Worldwide Protective Services course with the State Department.
Oh.
I went through it twice because they upgraded it. We had to go through it again. But the whole thing was use of force. We're not just going out randomly killing people and cracking noses.
No.
Now, one guy in the comments said, hey, handcuffs are good de-escalation. I agree. Handcuffs will calm people down. You can always take them off.
They do.
Putting them in the back of a car sometimes calms them down. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they start kicking.
It irritates them.
Yeah. But anything to get you to separate from that aggression, handcuffs, car, whatever, walk away, is a de-escalation tactic.
I was usually pretty good with getting people to de-escalate.
Yeah.
You just got to talk to them like human beings. You got to find out what their little niche is they want to talk about. Mine, I just look at a tattoo and say, oh man, nice tattoo. And it changes the dynamics. And then it turns into another conversation. You can get people to de-escalate. The hardest ones are the ones that are on dope.
Yes, because they're having a drug-induced psychotic event.
Right.
So whatever that whatever their chemical makeup is, that drug affects you differently and makes you do stupid stuff.
So other than that, you can get people to de-escalate.
I've had alcohol-induced psychosis where I didn't have memory.
I've had that.
They're like, you know what you did last night? I'm like, don't tell me.
Yeah, don't tell me. I've got a good idea what I did.
I'm not in jail right now, so don't tell me. But anyway, the case law, all of them said that the officer had the responsibility to de-escalate, and they didn't. They went from 0 to 100 with hands on, throwing punches to the red areas, pulling out their weapon and using it, all those things. They didn't shout, show, I forget what it is. Presence, shout, show, shove, whatever it is.
Officer's presence?
Yeah. All those things, right? They didn't do any of that. They just went from 0. So a lot of them were mentally handicapped people, and the officer came in with a gun drawn. And the person didn't respond to commands, and they just shot him, which is murder. Right?
Absolutely.
And there was others where one cop tried to de-escalate and the other one overrode that de-escalation, went hands-on and killed somebody. So there's all kind of case law out there.
Sure there is.
And it's a long history of policing in the United States. We got 200 years or more, 250 years of policing. So there's a lot of historical data out there.
There is.
And
but it's a good thing you get keyboard commandos that just type whatever they think they saw in SVU, Special Victims, whatever, with Liv and Finn Tutuola.
Well, one of them is the fat guy off of Full Metal Jacket.
The fat guy. Oh, Private Pile.
Yeah, he's Private Pile. So he's made a good career out of that cop show he's on now.
Sure.
He's been on there 12 years or something.
I've seen that, I think, once or twice.
What a job, man. You get to play a cop on TV and just make good money doing it. That's pretty cool.
You watch, what was it with Andy Sipowicz, Hill Street Blues or something?
Oh, I watched that when my dad watched it.
Oh, yeah.
So, sometimes he'd make me go in the other room. I didn't know why, because they had that was pretty raw TV for back then,
it was.
They had some hard topics.
But that's where I think most of the people that make uneducated comments, they get their legal expertise from is television.
Right.
Great place. Keep doing it.
Yeah, so that's that. That's Keyboard Commando saying there's no case law regarding de-escalation. So
I'll go back to the drawing board.
And I agree with the guy that mentioned handcuffs. Yeah, restrain them, man. If you got to, I don't mean, there's some of the case law I read. I got into it. I went down that rabbit hole, right?
Right.
I learned a lot. So there are some where they're in restraints and they went ahead and killed them anyways.
Yeah.
So, which there's no justification there. All those guys are in jail.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. It's just now if they're in handcuffs and they continue to resist, there's only limited resistance, right? They can kick it.
So you hog tie them.
But all of them, every one of the cases said, once you've got them restrained, you lower your...
Yeah, because there's no need to keep that
level of aggression.
On the use of force matrix, there's no reason to stay up there.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're controlled, back off.
That's like the kid in Memphis we talked about, Tyree Nichols. They had him restrained and continued to beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I know everybody's human, their blood gets up and all that, but man,
sure it does.
You're a professional. You got that oath to protect the civilians, right?
Absolutely.
And even if you're having to go hands-on with one, you try your best not to kill him.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if
he wasn't armed and he's
somebody that's obeying the law or somebody that's breaking the law. They're still human beings. You can't just, end their life right there just because you had a bad day.
And your heart rate's up.
So. You de-escalate.
Mm-hmm. All right, that wasn't our topic for today, but we went off, right?
Yes.
On a topic. Let's talk about Murdaugh. New stuff. Today is May 15th, 2026. It is May, right?
Yes.
Okay, May 15th, 2026. Some of y'all, if you haven't been living under a rock, you know that Alex Murdaugh killed his son and his wife a few years back and got convicted of it.
Yeah.
Right? Yesterday, a judge granted him a new trial. And it's legitimate, too, if you look at it. That woman is stupid. I don't know her name. I don't have it up. But I'm going to pull up the article here, and we'll look at it a little bit. All right. This is for Entertainment Weekly, that hard-hitting news organization.
Oh, yeah.
They do have a good article about it, though. So
yeah.
This is about Rachel Schufelt. It was actually on the 13th, 2 days ago. All right. 2023, he was convicted of having murdered his wife and son. The case prompted a flurry of projects, including a fictional series on Hulu, documentaries, and podcasts. Hey, we're podcasters. Look.
Ooh.
I watched one of those documentaries. The short one was like a 30-minute one. It was good. The South Carolina Supreme Court has now tossed out the conviction citing interference with the jury. Let's get down to the interference part. This woman trying to sell a book. All right. The decision to reverse the murder convictions was reached after the court found shocking jury interference by the court clerk. I keep getting pop-ups here, Juice. Who worked with the jurors, according to the New York Times. Alex has said from day one he did not kill his wife and son. Alex's lawyers, Dick, what a name, Harpoot Leon. We'll just call him Dick. All right.
Yeah.
Old Dick and Jim Griffin told the outlet we look forward to a new trial conducted consistent with the Constitution. All right. Lawyers for Alex had taken issue with the conduct of Becky Hill, the clerk of the court, insisting that she had bias against the defendant. Hill later wrote in a book about the trial behind the doors of the Justice that Murdaugh murders and left her position. The story of the Murdaugh family has been retold projects. The woman did, this article ain't get into it, but what she did, she went into the jury during the trial, before and during, and said this shouldn't take long. This guy's guilty.
Watch his body language.
Yeah, coached the jury. The clerk of the court, I guess in South Carolina, is allowed to have contact. She's the one that coordinates all their lunches. Hey, let's go here and wait here while the judge don't want you in here. Make sure they got water.
Right.
All those things facilitates the jury. And that's fine, but you're not allowed, like, your contact with them should be like, hey, you want a sandwich or salad today?
You're not supposed to talk to them anything pertaining to the case.
I think in Alabama, the only people that contact the jury are the bailiffs, the cops, which they don't say nothing to them other than, hey, do you want Coke or Diet Coke? Yeah. And then the judge can talk to them, but the judge has to talk to them with people. It has to be recorded, like everybody can see it, both sides. Now in South Carolina, I guess the clerk handles that, and she fumbled it bad.
Big time.
And she wrote about it in her book.
Well, it sells books.
If she wouldn't have wrote that book and admitted to it, this would never happen.
Right.
But jury tampering is a thing.
It is. But even in the article, it said they were looking for a reason that violated the Constitution. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say the evidence was no good. Mm-hmm. It didn't say anything about the case itself. It was a flaw that they can use the Constitution.
Right. That's a flaw in the United States justice system, and we call it a justice system. We don't have courts of justice. We have courts of rules.
Right.
That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Murdaugh is probably guilty of sin.
Exactly.
But because this woman tripped over a rule, he gets a new trial. That's how we're set up. I'm sorry it's like that, but that's just how it is. Now, if you go in other places, they have courts of justice where they'd have been like, well, he's still guilty. We're not worrying about this.
Right.
I'm not sure which one I want to live in. I prefer this one, I believe.
Yeah, I'll stay here.
Mm-hmm. But I think there's a line there where some lawyers should be like, or judges should be like, this guy's guilty, man. Let's just look at this one part. You know what I mean? I don't know if they could do that or not, or the whole thing gets tossed.
It's the whole thing. It's fruit of the poisonous tree. It's all kind of stuff.
So that jury's no good anymore, right? So they're whatever they decided, they have to go back and do another one.
Now, it's going to be all from the beginning again.
That's no different if you stole evidence and planted it somewhere.
Right.
That evidence is no good. We have to go back and redo that part. Right?
Correct.
So it's just a grander scale because there's 12 people and they all made a decision based off what this woman told them.
Well, I don't know if they made it based on what the woman told them, but the assumption is at least one listened.
And that gets into you're innocent until proven guilty. She was saying, hey, he's guilty already.
Right.
There's a bunch of things that happen there.
Right. I just hate seeing people get off on technicalities when they're guilty as sin.
Right. I think he killed his wife and kid right there next to the dog pen. Wherever it was. It was out in the dog pen or something, right?
Yeah, out of the horse track or something.
Somewhere out in their big, expensive thing.
Yeah.
Now, I saw some people saying, oh, he's going to get out of jail. And I'm like, no, he's not. He got some federal problems.
Right.
They got him on skimming clients because he's a personal injury lawyer.
Right.
Now, my daughter, she asked me, she said, so he gets a percentage of their case anyways. Right. And how is he in trouble federally? And I said, we got to look at the state. So each state has a thing where personal injury attorneys can do what, max percent, 10 to 20. I think some states there's no max, so you can get away with it. But apparently, the feds said, hey, he had a contract where he said, I take 20% of the proceedings. And then he was forging checks and all kinds of weird stuff and taking more.
Right.
And there was some forgery involved. He would get the insurance checks, change them, cash them, and give a lesser amount to the client, those kind of things. So.
You know, I lived over there for quite a while, for several years. And the low country in South Carolina gets a bad rap. It's like people come here, they think, oh, you know, inbred hillbilly, they're not very smart. I got news for you. They're smart individuals there. They're intelligent, same as here.
Right.
You just because you have a certain dialect or something, don't take that as a sign of non-intelligence.
Is that the East Coast or the West Side?
That's over Charleston and stuff. That's over on the east side.
That's
of the
low
state.
country.
Yeah.
I've been over there a lot.
Yeah.
They do sound funny.
They do.
Once you leave Columbia, which one is it?
Columbia,
and go out east, it starts changing. And you got a country, and then it gets to Charleston, which is kind of cityfied. But
yeah, it's still, because I live right outside of Charleston. I live near the Naval Weapons Station.
okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
I know. Is it Beaufort or Beaufort?
Beaufort.
Beaufort, the air station. Those people around there sound real funny.
They do.
It bleeds up in North Carolina too. So
They do. And they're right next to Paris Island. All them people sound funny.
So we're going to digress here a little bit. So there's a fancy golf course out there,
Yeah.
a resort golf course, and they play one of the big PGA tournaments there every year.
Right.
And there's a famous hole that goes out on like a peninsula out there. And when we were walking out there and they were playing that tournament, and they made us stop and look at it. And see all these people, cheering in their hats, having beer and stuff.
Really?
Just to be mean. Look at that, y'all could be over there. And it's still like middle of, we're on like day 40, so we got a ways to go,
Yeah, well, I didn't see any of that stuff going on.
But they run you out on that dirt. There's the dirt, I forgot where it was. You think Paris Island's
That's out
huge.
near 3rd Battalion, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Paris Island's huge until you go back later.
Yeah.
It's like, good Lord, I got more
They
property.
just walk you in circles.
I got more property here than they had out there.
Yeah.
Now, I've been out there in the last, 15 years, and they got a gigantic PX now and all that stuff.
I was there in 16 when my nephew graduated. It changed a lot from when I was there.
The PX, when I was there, they let you go in and get your razors and shaving cream and all that, like rush you through. They make you do that.
Oh, really?
We went through like the back and they had them in boxes.
Oh, no. We went through the Recruit PX.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
That was like a room this big.
That's maybe what I was,
Yeah.
but they didn't have a big PX, I don't
No,
think. It was like
there
a
wasn't.
shopette with a gas station.
I went, there were still wooden barracks over on 1st Battalion.
Right.
My dad's, when he went through in 59, his barracks was the last one standing over there.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, Paris Island, man. Whew. I've gone back a few times.
Yeah, I've been back a couple.
We were on vacation out there at Hilton Head. It rained one day all day. Said, hey, let's go to Paris Island and look around. And
Yeah.
it was cool, Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any other cases where the jury was tampered with?
There's been several that's why you have all these laws and stuff.
Well, the mobsters made it famous.
Well, Sammy the Bull, he used to fix,
They used to fix
for
juries.
Gotti and everything.
They used to kill jurors. Like, hey,
Oh, they paid him all the time.
they paid them, or if you didn't play along, they'd put you in concrete shoes. So
Yeah, I listen to some of his podcasts. He's got a really good podcast. You get some insight into the mafia.
right. Okay.
But the mafia, to me, was a good thing.
really,
In my hometown, it was Mob City.
Mhm.
You didn't do things. You didn't, like we see now, you didn't see that stuff back then. Everybody minded their P's and Q's because the mob wasn't going to put up with too much in their area.
right. So I've known people from New Jersey and up that way,
Yeah.
and talking to their parents. And they said that the mob would take care of stuff.
Yeah.
They like if a guy was beating on his wife,
Oh, it wouldn't happen.
they'd give him
but
a
once.
chance. They'd take him out, bloody him up, say, if you do it again, we're going to kill you.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't happen much. Again.
No, that stuff didn't happen.
Or-
now my hometown's just off the chain. It's nothing but crime, drugs, all kind of stuff.
You get regentrified areas and stuff.
Oh,
They're trying to make it all hippie and everything.
no, it's just a melting pot right now. It's no longer You know, the English, the German, the Irish, the Italians, it's everywhere.
Sure.
And with the influx came the drugs, the murders, all that stuff.
Right. Do you have gambling up there?
Yeah, they got the lottery and stuff.
They have Indian casinos around?
I have no idea if they have any up there now or not. I've been out of there since I'm 18.
You've been to South Carolina, Florida, and here, right?
I've been all over the place, but CONUS, I've stayed in the South.
Okay. All right. So, as a private investigator, I've investigated some of these where they said, hey, I think the jury was messed with. We had one in particular, Antonio Gerardo, where we had jurors say, yeah, the judge came back and told us that we should find this verdict.
Yeah, see, judge can't do that.
And that was outside of the hearing of both sides, because if the defense would have heard that, they'd been like, hey, flag, they'd have thrown the penalty flag.
Of course.
And he's still in prison right now, in 2 life sentences. So I don't think he committed the murder. I don't think he was there. But he's got some stuff coming up, though. We'll see what happens. But that's when we Wetumpka, baby.
Now, if the judge didn't like what the jurors found, he can overrule their finding.
In Alabama.
Yeah.
Not in Texas.
No.
Or certain states.
Yes, some states they can supersede what the jury finds.
Now, Alabama, they get the guilty and innocence, the jury does, but the punishment comes from the judge.
Right.
The jury they make a recommendation.
Right.
It's kind of like the judges, hey, what does the public say about this thing?
Yeah.
In Texas, though, the judge is like, if they follow the rules, the jury gets the guilty, not guilty verdict and the punishment as well. So,
right.
Because you had that FedEx driver out there recently that killed that little girl. He got a death penalty.
Yeah.
He pled guilty and still got the death penalty from the jury. So
yeah, he needs to go.
They need to turn him out in gen pop for a little while in the taxpayer burden.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there, if there's any death penalty cases and they're convicted, I volunteer my time and my ammo to do the execution.
Right, yeah, you know, I get people lose it and kill each other, second-degree murder type.
Heat of passion, stuff like that. When you do it to a kid, though.
That's what I was getting at, the children.
Yeah, you do it to a kid, I want you to die as painfully and slowly as possible.
He bumped into her with a truck, apparently, and was scared of what was going to happen. So he took her out and raped her and killed her?
Yeah.
Why not just say, hey, get on the phone, FedEx. She's not hurt, but I told her dad, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He needs to be taken out, raped, and killed.
You know, my kid, both of them, since they were born, would be outside and the FedEx postman would come up, UPS or whatever. I think twice about it now.
Yeah.
So, FedEx, who you hiring? I don't know. This guy was, if you read his what he said to the cops, serious issues.
Oh, yeah.
Problematic, man. Like the stuff he's done in the past. I don't know, man. But Murdaugh, though, you know, got off on got a retrial based on a technicality.
Right.
Now, some legal experts are saying this may harm the federal case, too. That's a different jury, a different district, all of the different things.
I don't see how a state court case is going to affect the federal court case.
That's a whole other jury, whole other DA, whole other room. You know, it's a whole other building, basically.
Yeah, they're getting them off on a technicality. That's all it is. They're getting them a retrial.
Right.
You know, there's people I know that have been accused of beating their girlfriend, and the only thing they said to me was, not that I didn't do it. It's, oh, she did this and she did that. Not once did this guy ever say I didn't do it. When the district attorney dropped the charges, because there wasn't enough there for the district attorney to make a win on, so he dismissed the case. Instead of calling saying, I told you I didn't do it, all this guy sent out a message was, free at last, free at last.
Good gosh almighty, free at last or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He did it. I mean, I spoke to him, and you can tell by his body language, statement analysis, you know, the way he acted. He did it, but...
So I don't care how mad your wife or your girlfriend makes you. You can't knock their teeth out and put them in a sleeper hold.
No.
So you can't do it.
No. So. No.
I mean, you can defend yourself, but they take it too far, you know. We got a case, a former case, where the guy, they reconciled, and now this guy lost it, and he's on the run right now because he strangled his wife unconscious. Didn't kill her, and then hit the kid like a 3-year-old. He's out running around right now. So
Yeah.
anyway,
he better have some good hiding spots.
he's not gonna. Daddy's money ain't gonna get him out of that one. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But
It's not like he did it for the money like Murdaugh.
this guy lost it and shouldn't be around children or women probably. So
Wow.
but all right. So Murdaugh gets a new trial.
On a technicality,
He didn't say I didn't. He's always said he didn't do it.
yeah, come on. The evidence shows a preponderance of the evidence shows that beyond a reasonable doubt he did it.
We went through that evidence, on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And unless somebody stole his phone, that's the only way he would. Nobody stole his phone.
Yeah.
It was him.
They said, there was 2 guns. And?
Where's the other one? They found one, right?
Yeah.
Where's the other gun?
I don't know. I don't know if they got both of them or not.
Yeah, they got after the state's ballistic expert and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
ballistics isn't a hard science either.
No.
When you get into shotguns and
No. Tooling marks, stuff like that. Yeah. Where you can look at the rounds and, you have something physical, you can rifling in the barrels and all that. And, where the firing pin hit the primer and the shape of the indentation, all that, that's good to go. It's hard when it comes to like shotguns and stuff.
unless you got
is.
the primer, they can go off of that.
Right.
But those pellets, they ain't getting crap off of that.
No, but they are going to go through the type of ammo, the box of ammo, when it was bought, where it was bought.
Right.
I mean, there's more to it, but yeah.
Everybody always looks for a smoking gun. There's typically not a smoking gun like in Perry Mason.
No.
It's a preponderance of the evidence.
Right.
No, wait a minute. Is it preponderance in?
Yes.
What's the other one in the civil?
That is the
It's 51%.
yeah, 50 plus 1.
50 plus 1.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, it's 50%
Just over
plus 1.
50%.
Yeah.
It's less. Is that preponderance? Well, I'm going to look it up while we're setting
Yeah.
the juice. I was getting ready to sign off.
More likely than not.
Right. Let's look it up, Juice. What do you think? Preponderance refers to superiority in weight, power, imports, or the greatest quantity amount, something most commonly used in civil law. Preponderance is civil.
Beyond reasonable doubt.
Beyond a reasonable doubt, which is like the close to 100% as we can
Right.
get. Right. It's more strict. That's what I'm getting at. So
Right.
some people's going to say, oh, these guys are stupid. Well, you're right. We are a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'm not always sitting around thinking the legal terms all day.
Neither am I. Especially when I've worked all week and I work third shift.
Last night,
Yeah.
what are you going to do today?
Work on my motorcycle.
You going to sleep? Do you sleep on Fridays?
I do for about an hour.
And you go do stuff?
Yeah, me and my daughter's got stuff planned and I got to work on the motorcycle today. So
You going shopping?
we're walking.
Walking.
I know.
Where?
Down the road. She has.
At your house?
Yeah, she
You get run
has-
over over there. So
No.
okay.
She has convinced me that we need to start walking.
Okay. For your daddy's heart.
And because I'm fat.
Wow. You're old, so who
Yeah.
cares? Who cares? We're going to get off here for now, and we'll be back with another exciting topic. Several topics today.
Yes.
We'll get back at it here in just a bit. We'll see you soon. Say bye, Juice.
Bye, Juice.
Do it.